All right, welcome. Tonight is April 8th, 2016. As always, I am your host, T-Bone. With me tonight is Torrensol, over there, Shadow slash Fadekin, and JT slash Outlaw. And we are the Nightly Grind. Sorry, I'll never do that again. So tonight we're talking about Star Wars Rogue One trailer that came out. Was it yesterday, I think? We're going to talk about the Doom open beta coming up soon, Oculus Rift and HTC Vive being released, some Division stuff, Starbound, Dark Souls 3, and The Walking Dead finale, which will be last. So first up is the Rogue One trailer. Let me...
It may be last, but it's always first in Torn's heart.
Yeah, I know.
That's true.
What do we do?
We're going to do the trailer.
Which is cool because I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either.
Of course, I haven't seen the movie yet either.
Well, this is Rogue One. This is the
State your name for the record.
Jyn Erso.
Forgery of imperial documents, possession of stolen property, aggravated assault, resisting arrest.
On your own from the age of 15. Reckless, aggressive, and undisciplined.
This is a rebellion, isn't it? I rebel.
We have a mission for you. A major weapons test is imminent. We need to know what it is and how to destroy it.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
What
will you do when they catch you? What will you do if they break you? If you continue to fight? What will you become?
They've done such a great job with the music on these new movies.
So, Mark.
So yeah,
Looks good.
it does. It looks real good.
I don't know, man. Forrest Whitaker might just ruin that for me.
I want to see him
Why?
hop really
That
fast.
doesn't make any sense. You want to see what?
I still want to see him hobble really quick.
So obviously this is the crew that gets the Death Star plans by what they show. I'm curious to see if maybe that the younger chick isn't Rey's
Where's the
mother or
Bothans at?
something. The what?
Many Bothans have died for this plan. I think that was the famous line.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So where are the Bothans at?
Well, who knows? Maybe they take place.
That'll be
somewhere
the
else.
next commercial. They'll lay out 6 of them so you know exactly what's going to happen through the whole movie before you watch it.
Each one will be wearing a red shirt to really piss off the Star Trek fans.
All the Bothans ever have red shirts.
Yeah, it's their favorite color. Just has nothing to do with the fact they're going to be slaughtered without mercy.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for it.
That looks good. Yeah, it does.
It looks good. It's got the style. I mean, they did such a great job on 7 that.
So this is a prequel then. This is a
Or it's
in the view into the past.
an in-betweener, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, so the plan is that they're going to have 7, 8, 9 alternating years, and then they're going to have Rogue One. Then I think there's a Boba Fett movie.
Yeah, they're
Han
definitely
Solo
doing a Boba
movie.
Fett.
So they're sort of like alternating what main storyline, side storylines, and this doesn't look like there's going to be any Jedi. Maybe a few here and there, but all the main characters are just regular.
Well, there is no Jedi technically at that point in time. There's only the Sith and Luke. If it's a prequel.
Yeah, prequel to
The original?
The original movie, yeah, right.
Okay. So it's a prequel. So yeah. So then there's
Well, Obi-Wan's out there. You know, Yoda's out there.
Luke's out there. He dies on the Death Star, so therefore he,
right.
So you have a total of like 4 Jedi in the galaxy.
And then you have some Sith.
Yeah.
So
The Emperor and Darth Vader.
maybe we'll get a cameo of them, but I don't think we're going to be seeing many Jedis in that movie. It doesn't look like.
They're all young, hanging out in the bar, having a good time.
Just chilling.
It's before Darth Vader had a lot of anger, so he's telling jokes, having a good time, tossing a few back.
Remember that time where I slaughtered a bunch of children?
Yeah. Thanks for ruining the mood,
To
Dick.
try and save my 2 kids. Like, it didn't make any sense.
I went total emo there.
It made 0 sense. Oh my gosh, that movie. Anyways, so Star Wars Rogue One next Christmas time, right? I think all their movies come out in December.
Of course.
December is not Christmas anymore. December is Star Wars now. So up next, Doom Open Beta with no pre-orders required will be between April 15th and through the 18th. It's open to pre-orders now. You can jump in if you pre-order the game. I'm not pre-ordering the game, but I'll definitely play the beta.
I haven't played Unreal Tournament forever.
I have no interest to play Unreal Tournament, so.
Yeah, it's definitely an Unreal style, an arena shooter, if you will.
If I wanted to play arena shooters, I'd play Call of Duty.
It's not quite the same. It's similar. It's getting there. It's getting there, but it's not quite the same. Oculus Rift and HTC Vive have both been released. Oculus owners are complaining about part of the EULA, which allows Facebook to monitor what you're playing. Oculus is currently saying that they are not sharing information with Facebook at this time.
But it's a possibility that they may in the near future.
They don't have advertising yet, and Facebook is not using Oculus data for advertising. It is being used for system stability, so I guess they're monitoring that probably.
That's what they're calling it, anyway.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. And then the Steam VR store now has 129 games in it, which isn't bad. I know not all of those are, standalone VR games. Those are games you can play with VR. So like War Thunder is probably in there and stuff like that.
I think a lot of them are demos, though.
War Thunder would be neat with it just for the fact that it would basically be the track IR. So if you were playing first-person cockpit view, you could actually look around and see the actual how well they've actually made that game. I mean, it's not lie. War Thunder is an amazingly built game. So
yeah. What the heck?
Cricket.
I guess I got that stupid Star Wars song stuck in my head.
Why is my chat not showing up?
Dear God, help us, JT.
Yeah, I mean the VR stuff looks cool. I've been hearing really good things about the Vive. The Rift and Vive are just different from each other, but everything I've been hearing about the Vive sounds it's really cool. But there's been very limited info coming out. There's been some pretty cool videos of people playing with it, where they put them in like a green room, and then they film them playing, and then put them in the world so you can see what their body looks like in the world. It's
You watched
cool.
the Total Biscuit video.
No, I think this was put out by Vive themselves. It was like
Yeah,
a
but
real
Total
deal.
Biscuit, I watched that
Probably
video.
stole some video.
The Audio Shield demo shows that, because I was like, what the hell is this audio game?
Yeah, I looked at it too because I love audio surf and that kind of looked, and I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, it looks stupid. Like, jazzercise while we're playing to this music.
Until they actually, I'm not knocking it, it's an interesting technology, but until they basically find a way where you don't look like a complete fucking retard playing these games, people are really going to, it's going to be cliche. I'm just saying, it really,
Yeah, but it's only through participation can they make things better. So,
without a doubt, yeah.
If it helps, then whatever. Like I said, if they want to give it to me as a demo.
Yeah. We'll see when the price comes down. But it's interesting that Ready Player One is coming out in, a year and a half now? Or 2 years almost.
We're still a long way away
Still
from
a long
what
way,
Ready
but
Player,
VR
so
will
ready
be
for it, though.
VR is slowly picking up its pace, and it's an interesting time to be releasing a movie about VR. Just thought that was an interesting coincidence at this
I
point.
think it's so cool we're all alive right at the point before all the cool shit comes.
Yeah, but at the same exact token, there was people when we were young saying the same exact thing about the technology we had. You know, and then the same thing for the generation before that, and the same thing for the generation before that. You know what I mean? So,
Although the generation before that was the one that went to the moon.
True.
well, they definitely, you know, and with
They actually did shit.
with the technology that this phone has more power
Yeah,
in that.
yeah, exactly.
So-
Yeah. We were actually talking about that tonight at dinner. That's hilarious. We were talking about our phones or computers with Piper. And I was like, yeah, when they went to the moon, their computers were like in a room.
We're
The whole
using
room is computers.
abacuses still for
and our
crying out
phone,
loud.
And this little tiny thing here can do more on what they were doing then. That's funny. That's the exact conversation we were having. Anyways, the Division 1.1 is releasing soon, or has it released already? Anybody know?
Some elements of it.
Next week, I think. Or-
Yeah.
I know some elements have been released because I know they do have the daily missions are been activated, which
Oh,
basically
okay.
you're
That's
just
part of it.
replaying old missions for loot experience,
loot
shit
or
like
whatever,
that. So,
yeah.
at least so far as I can tell.
There's apparently going to be a large update to endgame crafting. There's a bunch of other stuff in there too, but the crafting thing is the one that a lot of people have issues with apparently, or concerns about. They are increasing the drop rate of high-end named items on named NPCs. It's essentially going to be a 100% drop rate on named NPCs.
Okay, that's neat.
They're increasing the drop rates of division tech. They're going to modify loot tables to each named NPC to make the hunt for loot more controlled. So that sounds to me like this
Guaranteed
this
drops.
person will have these things on them if
Yeah.
you're looking for it. They're increasing conversion costs of lower quality materials to higher ones, making it harder to convert low quality materials into high quality ones. Decreasing construction yields, making it less interesting to farm lower quality items in order to obtain crafting materials, and because you'll get more high-end items as a whole. And they're increasing the cost of crafting high-end items because high-end materials would be much easier to come by. I think the concern was that the only way to get endgame gear, or the easiest by far way to get endgame gear, was to craft it. And that's what
April
everybody
12th
was
is the
doing.
release date.
What was that?
April 12th.
April 12th. So a couple
Yeah, by
days.
far the. Go ahead.
No.
I'm going to craft a whole bunch of I've got a ton of material I'm going to craft up to the high before the patch comes out.
But without a doubt, I understand what they're saying, but to me, we've done a lot of high end stuff, and our drop rates have not exactly been what I call stellar. Breaking shit down really doesn't give you a lot of tech to do stuff with, and to make endgame shit, you need a lot of stuff. So it's kind of a grind.
Oh yeah. Now it's going to be even worse.
Some people
Other
enjoy
than-
doing that.
Well, what makes it bad is the missions get repetitive
Yeah.
with that grind.
Now, maybe Dead Zone might have a little bit more fun to it, but then you also run the risk of assholes. But I understand what they're talking about low-end grinding, because I understand, but I don't understand, because the game keeps the level cap with you to a point. So you're always going to be fighting stuff that's like 5 levels lower than you. If you go into an easy zone, like at level 30, which is the regular player cap or the soft cap right now, as far as I'm aware, for NPC game version, everything around you is still going to be level 25. So it's not like you're just walking through and mowing shit down. You can generally still mow them down, but if you're not careful, they can still hurt you. But they're still not guaranteed drops, and I've been noticing that it seems like it's better just to sell all your shit and buy off the vendors in the inside the game and through the regular NPCs in your main base, because they do sell relatively decent gear, and there's a few that sell some really high-end gear. So I would think it would be better just to grind and sell than to grind, break down, and then try to rebuild shit. Because it just, I don't know.
I think this is solely talking about the super high gear.
Yeah,
Level
which is
31
basically
stuff.
orange level gear.
Yeah. Apparently that's the most efficient way to do it.
I wouldn't doubt it, but
I think a lot of the concerns was that when they first talked about this, they didn't say they were increasing drop rates of stuff on named NPCs. So people were like, well, you're making it harder, and the NPCs don't drop anything worthwhile. So it's just made being harder. So I haven't read anything that people took both into account, where they're increasing the drop rates and making it harder to craft. So they're sort of pushing you towards, go actually fight things. don't do just crafting.
Just run around the city and farm shit.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. We don't want that. They don't want that to be the game. They want you to be out there fighting stuff. Is the idea that I got behind it. Which
If
is
they're going to do that,
which
then
is
they
fine.
need to increase the spawn rates for a lot of things in the regular city to make it farm worthy. I mean, you can basically go farm missions and just play missions over and over again, but that's going to get dull really fucking fast. All right, because you're basically playing a set piece round. The open world element is a lot more fun. Fuck you, JT. The open world element's a lot more fun, and that's what makes the rogue area real fun, because you have to really be careful. But at the same exact token, you only can carry a limited amount of rogue gear, then you gotta call fucking flare. So it's kind of like you really can't grind gear in that area as efficiently as you can in the other world. So
Yeah. There's also a ton of other stuff that they're adding. We've talked about most of it before, like the new area that they're adding, the the extra difficulties, the loot trading with people in your group, stuff like that. They're adding as well. But
that'll be interesting, definitely.
yeah, this was the big one. This was the one everybody was talking about, since it was the stuff that hadn't been really released before. You guys might be interested in this. A team-based shooter called Umbrella Corps, which is by Capcom, and it's set in the Resident Evil franchise world.
Why are you shaking your head so vehemently?
Because it's going to be just like Operation Raccoon City.
It had
heard
its
horrible
release
things about
date
that.
That
pushed
game is
back.
ridiculously stupid. Hey, let's 5 of us team up against the G-Virus guy, and then we all die because nobody can shoot him.
It is co-op.
Doesn't hurt him.
It's a co-op game.
So was Raccoon City.
Yep.
I know very little about the game. I knew you
It
guys
sucks.
were into.
I was interested when it first came out a while back, because it looked like it was going to be an interesting game.
I still have it, technically.
There's videos out there on this one. I know very little about it again.
I mean, it has very, very much potential for them to do a game co-op in Resident Evil like that.
Yeah.
But I think if they stray too far away from Resident Evil 5, it's going to be terrible. Resident Evil 5 was awesome.
I didn't like the game. I don't like that style.
Yeah.
But over the shoulder.
Yeah.
See, I did not like Resident Evil 6.
This looks like
for
a
the
mix
most part.
of. This looks like a mix of.
It was
over the
funny
shoulder
though
first
how
person.
bad it was, JT. You have to.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like so terrible I couldn't play it, but it was like, man, this is really stupid.
Yeah, I was not a fan.
Now, Resident Evil 5 still had a lot of good storyline for 2 players, and I like that a lot.
You got to admit though, what was it? I think it was the Leon one. The Leon one wasn't half bad. The Leon
Yeah.
storyline, because that was
Leon
more slow paced.
Well, the Chris one wasn't bad.
The Chris one was horrible though, because it was just action adventure, nonstop running, shooting.
True.
Stuff, you know.
I didn't like the Ada one at all.
It sucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one with the blonde chick and Wesker's son wasn't. They weren't bad. It just didn't feel like Resident Evil. That was the problem.
It was too much going on at the same time.
Yeah. Too much.
Like, I like how they're doing all the remakes. The remakes are definitely a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's something to keep an eye on. Obviously, it's not something that I would jump out and buy right away.
No, we haven't even seen anything about it yet.
I saw I looked up a video of it on YouTube. You know, it looks fairly generic as far as I can tell.
It's like you have a Resident Evil soldier or Umbrella Corps soldier, and you get to customize them, but it looks exactly like Raccoon City did.
That's
exactly.
funny. There's a huge amount of customizability. I will give them that.
And
What
I'm
they
sure
showed
they'll
is
have
you
a
can
credit
change
card,
the color
enter
of
credit
everything.
card to get better. customization. So
But you could like change the color of everything. It was that if that alone is a cool thing, but the rest of it looks fairly generic.
here's this color, periwinkle blue, but if you want dark navy blue, it'll cost you 99 cents. I'm just saying, I guarantee
Or
it's
play
got
for 300
microtransactions
hours.
into it. Huh?
Or play for 300 hours to unlock enough
Probably.
umbrella points. to
Umbrella
get it.
points to actually earn the right that. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as long as it's aesthetics, who cares if there's microtransactions?
No, I agree 100%. I truly do, but it's just the idea that they have that. You know what I mean?
Microtransactions always get me a little bit in the game you pay $60 for.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point where that should be in the game.
If it's like a free-to-play game and you're paying for crap, then I can understand.
Yeah, if it's
you're
League of
paying
Legends,
for, you know.
yeah, that's how they make their money.
Yeah.
But if I paid $60 for League of Legends, I'd be like, well, why the hell didn't I get all the skins or most of the skins?
Yeah.
You know?
We got to give credit towards, if you're going to name that, what was it, Smite, I think it was. They actually had where if you paid like $60 or whatever, you technically bought the game.
Mm-hmm.
You got everything. everything was unlocked.
Yeah.
And every time a new champion comes out in that game, you automatically get it because you technically have bought the game. So I give props to studios that do that.
That's a good deal too.
Mhm.
I mean, you think about a game, if League of Legends had done that, they've been losing money for. I mean, most of us haven't put huge amounts of money in it, but
I mean, we'll talk about.
and you can get away with playing for free on that game, but yeah, they can.
Don't even want to talk about it.
They can definitely be.
Yeah,
shitty.
I don't want to talk about it either.
So we'll move on. 3 people close to Fable Legends development say that they've been approached to finish the game as an independent studio after Lionhead Studios has been shut down and the project was essentially killed. This game looked interesting. It looked sort of like Sword Coast Legends, where it's 4 players against, who are the heroes, against the villain, and the villain sort of controls the minions of sorts. So it sort of had that like Sword Coast Legends DM versus players, but not quite as implemented the same way. So it's
Not
it looked
horribly
interesting.
implemented at all, you mean?
Yeah, probably smoother implemented. But I love the world that Fable is set in. I've bought all 3 games that came out. I didn't buy the anthology, but I bought 1, 2, and 3, and I liked them. They weren't great, but I did enjoy the games. So I was sort of excited to see how this game worked out. But we'll see. I don't know how that even works. When a studio goes under, can you work on their IP anymore? Like
It depends. It really depends who owns it. Because look at it this way. Remember when what was the name of the company? Fuck. The company that made Company Heroes. When they went under. No, Relic is the company that made it.
It was a company that. Oh, the
was
company
it
that bought
THQ? I think it was THQ.
THQ went under and Sony.
They auctioned off
Sega?
all of their titles, and a lot of companies went out there and bought up their IPs.
Right.
It's like Relic got bought by Sega. It just so I mean it depends. If the studio technically owns the rights, then this or whatever it is, I'm not exactly sure how that works. It'd be interesting because I'm not sure if it was an independent studio developing for it or like part of that team.
It's not like they bought Lionhead Studios; they just went under. And I think maybe if Microsoft is the one that ends up being the producer, then it works because they're the ones that were producing it originally.
It's probably a legal quagmire, but I'm sure it can be done.
Yeah, I mean, if they produce it through Microsoft, then it works. That would be my guess.
I don't know. It's interesting. It would be interesting legally though because the studio doesn't exist anymore, so therefore technically the rights to ownership doesn't exist. I would think. There's no that since the studio doesn't exist, they don't have rights to the game.
Yeah.
So whoever owns the source code, whoever has access to the source code, technically owns the game. You know what I mean? It's never been released.
Or the owner of this. I mean, just because the studio is closed down doesn't mean that somebody still doesn't own the rights to that.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't take and build your own code and use Mickey Mouse in something. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you wouldn't necessarily have to use Mickey Mouse either. You could take it and call it the Mouse from Hell and change the artwork a tad bit.
Yeah, but if it looks like Mickey Mouse, Disney would be all over that.
Disney is very protective of the mouse, man. Don't fuck with the mouse.
What I'm saying is that you can technically still run with it. They probably have to buy the rights to Fable, because I'm sure somebody owns the term Fable, but they could always take the source code and change something, you know what I mean? Let's not get sued by Disney now. It might have looked like ears, okay?
Those devil horns.
It could have been just mistaken for, Mickey Mouse ears. That could be Bugs Bunny. You never know.
Don't fuck with the
We
mouse.
live in a very litigious society. We have to be very careful, okay?
All right. Yeah, so Fable Legends. I'd like to see it get made. How do 3 people take it over? And then, it's such a weird thing in general. 3 people taking it over and finishing it, and I don't know. I don't know. So Starbound is reaching its full release 1.0 soon. It includes story content, planet generation, new dungeons, crew members, ship upgrades, combat and weapon updates, performance and optimization, and they're improving frame rates and server performance. You're going to be able to drop in and drop out of your friends' single-player games, a max of 4 players. So you don't need to do server hosting, no port forwarding, no IP sharing. And that's because of their integration with Steam, obviously. They are still going to have dedicated servers. or they're adding dedicated servers. I don't know if they have them right now, but it used to be where you had to do all that crazy port forwarding stuff.
The question I would have is that the dedicated server is going to have a maximum of a higher player cap, or it's still going to be linked to 4.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be linked to 4, but I don't know. And they're also adding Steam Workshop, so that will be mod support.
Or you can go spend 99 cents and get Terraria and get a much better game.
We should
you can have like 12 people in the game.
We should probably download it and play it, since it's been a year and a half since we played it. Who owns it? I own it, and Ninja owns it too, I think. So we could have a 4-player game going, see what it's like, come out with a review of it.
Yeah, we could.
It's newsworthy at least. Dark Souls 3's reviews are coming in. They all seem to be fairly good. I've seen most of them 8 or higher out of 10, or 4.5 out of 5. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I saw 1 7 out of 10, but that that's in the same range.
Well, the question I would have is, what is the negatives they say about the game right now?
I didn't look at specifics because I don't plan on buying the game, at least right away. See if I can find something.
You haven't
real
even
quick.
beat the second one, you loser.
You haven't even played past the first stage of the second one.
It's not my game, man.
You're having trouble getting past the turtle in the first fucking
Terrible
area.
bastard. How could you not get past?
Okay, here we go. These are some, just some random synopsis. IGN 9.5 out of 10. Dark Souls 3 truly is the last in the series as we know it. Then it's a worthy. If Dark Souls 3 is truly last in the series, then it's a worthy send-off. Weapon art allows stylish and versatile new moves without tarnishing the purity of the combat system. Lorthric's awe-inspiring locations provide visually stunning arenas for rigorous exploration and fierce face-offs with hosts of deadly enemies and even deadlier bosses. While not all the risky challenges land as neatly as others, Dark Souls 3 is a powerful journey, and the sequel is the series truly deserves.
Super excited.
Let's see if I can find a
I'm going to start preloading it tonight, probably.
See if I can find a lower one.
How about you, JT? You get yours yet? Your code yet?
No. Is it ready?
I got mine in an email today, but I bought it from a third-party publisher.
Here's a 7 out of 10 from Polygon.
7 out of 10.
A 7 out of 10, yeah. At this point, most Souls players know what they're looking for in a new entry. Your personal expectations for the series will play a key part in your enjoyment of Dark Souls 3. If you play games for the intense controller-clenching combat and the excitement of invading other players' worlds, then there's a lot here to keep you busy and happy. But in so many important ways, the world design, its pacing, the technology powering it, Dark Souls 3 falls short of the mark. If you play for the joy and stress of exploring dangerous, intricately crafted places full of hidden elements and endless side paths, then I suspect you'll join me in being a little let down with the direction the sequel has gone in.
So he's basically saying it's more linear.
Seems to be that way. Rock, paper, shotgun.
Yeah.
Did he play the original games? Because the original games were very fucking linear.
Very linear.
Rock, paper, shotgun has no score. My complaints are minor, given the quality of the game as a whole, and some of them are directed towards elements that make this entry more approachable than its predecessors. Just remember, if you're going to play, not even the biggest and most brutal beasts are as tough as you imagine when you first see them, and the next bonfire is rarely more than a few minutes away. So it sounds like they made it a little easier.
That's like that in any Dark Souls game.
Once you get the general gist of it, it's not a hard game. It's just that there's no room for error. That's the thing that makes it fun. You make a mistake most of the time, you're paying for it by getting pushed back to where you were. So, and that can be really annoying when you got like 100,000 souls on you and you do something stupid. Yeah.
Accidentally roll off a cliff.
Last night, accidentally watched JT get killed by something he should have killed easily, and then get overran by fucking Archduke guys that beat me to death with a hammer. I'm just curious on the negative side, because usually the negatives tell me more than the positives ever do.
Yeah, I'm trying to skim through to see if I can find some negatives.
Somebody didn't do their research today.
Well, it's not really a game that I'm terribly interested in.
We should play Dark Souls afterwards.
I'm up for that.
This should be our Friday night magic or whatever.
I do want to play some Magic again now that you say that, Dave.
Tornsoul can narrate.
And Bone does
Yeah,
again.
only if he does it in the Morgan Freeman voice. JT didn't dodge very well that time.
JT might be interested in this one. Rock Band 4 for PC has failed to reach its funding goal. $1.5 million on Fig and has been canceled. Their funding goal was $1.5 million. What were they thinking with that
Nobody
number?
wants that anyways. Like, anybody that plays PC does not want to sit in front of their computer with that, besides, like, a real guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to be able to sit very comfortably in your computer chair while trying to play Rock Band drums.
Yeah, well, yeah, Rock Band drums especially. You can play the guitar in your chair, no problem.
And that's more of like a multiplayer game anyways.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
like,
If you could
local.
do it online, if they could somehow do it online, that'd be cool. But
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it online with lag and ping.
You
and-
couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't.
What you'd have to do is you'd have to everybody play their single player, and then you could watch the combined version of it.
Yeah, it
They
would have
could
to
do that.
Post. It would have to record it and then put it together.
Right, and then
Yeah.
it would just sync the audio and be done. I could see them doing that, but that's the only game that I would want to play. Battleborn is in open beta April 13th through the 18th on PC. I played this game with Ninja. Did anybody else play this game when it was
played
in
it.
beta? I wasn't a huge fan of it.
There wasn't a lot in it back then. It was pretty simple.
Yeah, I don't know. And I know they've changed it to be more PvE than PvP at this point, but it was straight PvP when I was playing it.
Is that
Like,
the
people
Blizzard
were
game
just
that's coming out, or
ignoring
is
it.
that something else?
What was that?
Is that the Blizzard game that's coming out, or is that something
No, that's Overwatch.
Yeah, that's Overwatch. That goes into open beta
Soon.
in the beginning of May, I think. It releases in the middle of May. I'm definitely going to try it out. That looks like a good one. Everything that people have been saying is that it's good.
Blizzard makes good games.
Yeah. For the most part.
They make good games.
I saw that they released patches for Diablo 2 and something else that was really old. What was it? Oh, shit. Oh, Warcraft 3. I think they did or are releasing a patch for it. It's pretty funny. I got the Loot Crate Gaming, by the way. I got this t-shirt.
Okay.
And I got this dude.
What other junk did you get? Yeah.
I got some more junk. I got this dude. I don't know. He's from
Warcraft.
Heroes of the Storm.
He's Warcraft.
He's Warcraft, but they called him from Heroes of the Storm. I don't know if they changed him at all.
I can't think of his name, but he's in the band.
I don't know if his name is on him. I'm in the band, man.
I'll have to show it to you one night, man. They play every night in Blackrock down or Blackrock. They do. Remember yesterday we were in
Yeah.
Blackrock? There's that drum set sitting in the bar.
Yeah.
Every day they play a show in
That's
there.
right. You mentioned it. That's right. And I got some socks that have some black socks, and they have the little Skyrim logo on them. And I got this crazy ass scarf, they call it, but it's like a hood, and it's got the Master Chief hood on it. Like the you can see it looks like you're wearing the Master Chief, and then it's like a scarf as well. It's
I want to
weird.
see this.
That the scarf thing.
Yeah, let's see it.
I gotta find it. Give me a second.
All right.
Anyway, so he's gone. Let's talk about. Don't know.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, let's talk about Dark Souls. Talk about how Thorin should buy Dark Souls.
I don't know if you'd be able to play it.
Probably not.
It's on its way. So,
Did you go, hey, woman, give me the scarf?
No, she offered to go get it. It's in Piper's room, and she's asleep.
Oh.
I gave it to Piper. I gave it to Piper.
Guarded by Smaug.
Guarding her treasure. So yeah, it was okay for the first one. Oh, and there was a Fallout 4 thing, right? What the hell did that come?
Yeah, it was a video for the.
Yeah. So here it is. This is supposed to be a scarf. Ready?
Have it on inside out, don't you?
Yeah, it's upside down and inside out.
Yeah. So, is it inside out? Shit.
No, you're good now.
Doesn't feel like it.
It was inside out. Now you got it right.
So this is my. It doesn't really fit, but this is my scarf. It doesn't. I
How's
don't.
it supposed to look like Master Chief?
I don't get it. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's
You
got
gotta turn your
yeah.
head. Don't lean. Turn your head. There you go.
I have a large head too, so.
I have a large head too.
It's a huge noggin.
Okay, let me take it off. I'm embarrassing her.
We are embarrassed.
So last on the list is Walking Dead season finale.
Let's talk all about that.
This will be spoiler filled, by the way, for anybody watching at home.
So turn off now.
Let's get this out of the way. Torn?
I had nothing to do with this.
Ninja.
No. Speak your mind, Torn. We've
Ninja-
heard it enough.
Oh.
What's your opinion of the season finale,
I'll
Torn?
speak for Ninja. He couldn't even, according to him.
Yeah, he couldn't.
I can't fucking even.
It was.
I will say.
It was great. It was great up until the last
It was amazing.
10 seconds.
Negan is going to be a fucking badass.
He played the character awesome.
Yeah.
That was really all. I don't understand. The only thing is that I don't want to say I'm mad. I'm disappointed in the decision not to tell us who died. I think it's a stupid decision.
But you know what? I was super scared to find out he was going to die that night, and
It was
now
scary.
I don't care. Now I just literally don't care.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like, it could be this person. Don't care. I'm over it. It could
All
be
right,
this
we'll
person.
find
Don't care.
out.
I'm
Yeah,
over
we'll
it.
find out. Yeah, in 7 months. Okay, great. They definitely. I think they ruined the moment. The build up to that was intense. Rick's
No, I guarantee you're not gonna find out till like the second or third episode next.
Maybe.
Probably not.
first episode will be a Michonne.
bastards.
Be a what's the two people that were out? Carol
Morgan and Karen.
Carol and Morgan.
Carol. Yeah.
So the
Carol-
crazy chick's outside still.
Carol and Morgan. Carol, who's starting to realize that her character is unkillable. Like she's becoming self-aware.
Or to be an episode of the two people that went off.
Even when she's begging
Tara.
for help,
Tara, yeah, that's right. We forgot all about them.
Tara and the Predator.
She was. I think she had just had her baby, so maybe that's why they sent her off so that she could have some recovery time without being on set. Did you notice that throughout the season they would like artfully hide her stomach? Like she would, if they like showed full body, she'd be standing up and there'd be like a piece of wood right there. It was funny. It was funny to watch it throughout the season. They
carefully placed.
Like
objects.
if you knew she was pregnant, you found it funny. But if you didn't know she was pregnant, you probably couldn't really tell.
Didn't
but I
even
thought that was
notice.
funny. But yeah, I thought, what's his name? Jeffrey Dean? What's his name?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He did awesome as Negan.
Yeah, he did.
He was awesome as the comedian, dude.
What was that in?
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
I've never seen that
yeah,
movie.
That's right.
honestly.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Read the book.
Yeah,
The movie was not all that good.
There's
It was
director's,
decent.
there's a director's cut of the movie. It's a little better.
Some of the people they chose to play characters were very well chosen. He was really good as the comedian.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was really good at that. I'm excited to see him next season. And I thought, what's his name? Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick, did an awesome job in that episode. The look on his face just slowly got worse and worse. And then he was full panic attack mode at the very end. Like he didn't know what to do. They were completely helpless. I liked the episode overall, but I think they sort of squandered their opportunity that they had.
what do you think?
I feel like they could have done that entire episode in less than 93 minutes, though. It was like, let's
It's already
drive.
been said.
Yeah,
Somebody else. Let's drive. There's somebody else.
I
Let's
think
drive.
it was
Somebody
a slower build up, you know. They were building and building and building and building, and then it sort of. And what do they call? What did they say at the end? That the killing was the end of a story, and who died wasn't part of the story. They were the
Yeah, it's the
beginning,
beginning
of
of
the
a new
next
story.
What a crap!
I don't know. That's a decent alliteration of it. I mean, that's not a bad way of saying it. It's the end of one story and the beginning of another. It's the end of a chapter and the beginning of another.
I think the end of the story is seeing who dies, and the beginning of the chapter is what the hell do we do next?
Yeah, but the thing is, the death is not the main story at this point in time. It's the changing of element. It's the aspect that they're no longer on their own, free and open. Now they're in a completely different world. They have to deal with.
Yeah,
So it's the death of one.
and they're not as strong as they thought they were.
Yeah,
They're not as unkillable.
no, it's a very good way to do
It
it.
happens every time they get safe. Every time they think they're going to be safe and all right for a while, they get fucked over.
Yeah. Oh, we're in the prison. We're gonna be fine. The governor shows up.
It's just the
We're in
right thing.
Alexandria. We can take these guys. We've done it before. And no, you can't. They are way more coordinated than you are.
We'll be okay on this farm for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the story of the whole series essentially. But I'm excited to see where they
I
go.
said I'm not going to get excited about that show. I'm really excited about that show until there's something besides a walker. I want something mutated.
Left 4 Dead
Even if
style.
it's only one, just a fucking nightmare.
So you want the Arnold Schwarzenegger roided out guy that spent 6 weeks or every waking moment at a gym zombie.
No, just
He wants
like
a tank to show up.
well, a tank would be cool.
A smoker.
In the forest, clearing out the forest as it runs.
Or a
and
hunter. Somebody who can jump or something.
I will say though, because honestly, besides nobodies, when's the last time you've seen anybody die from a zombie or a walker?
I
don't think it's a bad idea.
I think it's a good idea to make the walkers be the constant stress, and then
Right.
something else be the ultimate terror.
Yeah,
Like something is really causing you to move your ass, and the walkers are making it difficult to do that.
Well, I think it's. Honestly, I don't watch the show, but I think it's a just interesting idea that the zombies aren't necessarily the thing, because it's one of those things where they've dealt with them long enough. It's now commonplace.
Yeah.
They know it.
It's
They're
the catalyst
you know
for the
how to
rest
deal
of the
with it.
show. Yeah.
You know, they're not. There's nothing tricky about them. There's nothing. You know, at first the shock and awe of what the situation is drives you like, oh my god. But now it's like I said, I don't even watch it. I've just caught bits and pieces of it. And it's like they just do it it's not even like they're even thinking about it anymore. It's just like, nah.
I think they just do it now because the name would be redundant if they didn't.
Well, yeah, possibly. But I think it's a good idea where it's no longer I'm killing a human being. Now it's just I have to do this because I have to do this. It's you know.
Well, yeah, but it's not like there's not a whole lot of difference. It's stab, zombie.
It's going to be difficult.
Move to next zombie.
Yeah.
Zombie, sharp. Cut zombie head off. Move to next.
I saw a bit of one episode this year where they were trying to find zombie heads. I don't remember the exact reason why. I think they were trying to say they killed somebody and they were trying to find a zombie that looked like him.
Yeah.
And it's like they're out there in the forest killing zombies and they're just doing it like they're weeding a garden. You know what I mean? They're like having a nonchalant conversation about how it's going to be difficult. We might actually have to kill living people now. And the moral, like, you know...
I don't know if they talk about... Oh, yeah.
They're in the middle of the forest. You know what I really like? A Pepsi.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like it's sad, but it's like I think that's like it's that juxtaposition of the zombies are nothing now. They're just
but there are times when they have a horde of zombies show up, and that fucks them. That happened at the beginning of this season, where the horde they were trying to get rid of this huge group that had congregated in like this mining pit. And they got out before they wanted them to, and they were, essentially surrounded where they were living.
It's an issue, yeah. But I mean, in small groups, they're just, they're not a problem. Pull some weeds, it's like literally just go through the motion.
Yeah, every once in a while they have to deal, and it's happened a few times where they have to deal with a huge horde, but they've gotten really good at just killing a few. And the people that were in Alexandria, some of them are just starting to venture out for the first time, and so they're just dealing with.
They're getting a little bit more shock.
So you're dealing with people who are really good at it and people who are not very good at it.
Still the most awesome death to me was when the old guy died, not Herschel, but the other old guy, Dale.
Dale?
When the zombie got him and ripped him up.
Ripped him? Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, they're afraid to kill people. They are afraid to kill main characters.
Because people on Twitter say that if they kill off Daryl, they're going to fucking revolt and tear down the studio.
They should kill Daryl. He's getting boring.
You believe anybody that says anything on the internet along them lines, you do it because they ain't got the balls to fucking actually follow through.
It should be like Game of Thrones. Kill
That's all it seems to take anymore.
Week.
Companies back down a lot.
And they didn't kill Abraham. He was supposed to die. He was supposed to be the one that got that arrow.
Glenn did an interview with Entertainment Weekly where they said in the comic book you get your face bashed in. He said, "Well, they give us a lot of freedom where it comes to changing certain bits about the script, like implying that it wasn't him." So,
yeah, I wouldn't mind if it wasn't Glenn, but it needs to be a main character. I have a feeling it's Eugene. Maybe it's Abraham.
Tier 1, as you call it.
A tier one character.
We're giving them tiers now.
It's true. There's a core like 7 people. Michonne, those type of people that are in the show and are main characters. Like, what's his name? Adam? Is that his name?
When you can't even know his name, he's obviously not a tier 1 character.
Exactly. He's in the group, and if they kill him, I'm going to be seriously pissed.
Oh, the one that brought him to the...
Yeah, the one that first brought him to Alexandria. He's been in the show for like a season and a half, 2 seasons, and if they kill him off, it means almost nothing.
It means nothing.
The Mexican chick's in there, too.
Who?
Rosita.
Rosita's in the mix. She's
she's kind of eh.
You have to kill Abraham before you kill Rosita, but I don't think he's gonna kill Abraham because he wants to die, you know, and that's not how Negan rolls. But yeah,
I don't know.
I'm curious to find.
It could be just because he's the biggest one in the group, and when you're a bully, you take out the biggest one in the yard first.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
he doesn't want people that are willing
He's not
to
going
stand
to kill
up to
Rick,
him.
obviously.
He needs him to lead. Yeah. And
Right.
Rick's a mess right now, so he knows he's got him
When
running
is he
around.
not a mess? Just when he gets his shit together, he's a mess again. Basically, when he starts getting tail. As soon as he starts getting tail, his whole world falls apart.
True. It's happened 3 times now. So, do we know what we're going to play now?
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls. You guys have to start new characters, right?
Probably.
What else could we play? We'll figure it out. We'll be back in
We'll figure it out.
5 to 10 minutes. Who's still here?
Yeah, I'm not gonna need to eat, yo.
Alrighty. We'll be back in a little bit. Thank you for watching.
See you guys.